I was talking to a dear friend of mine who studied under Osho, and I said, "How did you know when it was enough? Like, how did you know when you were done?" And she said, "Well, it took 20 years, but I actually studied with Osho on the ranch, and then after I studied with Osho on the ranch, he passed, and I continued on my own studying his teachings, and then 20 years later, I thought." There's no more juice in this, but she did go into that depth to experience that. Do you think you need to go into that level of depth to really fully understand and get the benefits of a structured religion?
You have to go to some level. Yeah, you have to have some depth to it. I really to get it.
Yeah.
When I'm talking these days about a religion of one's own, I recommend to people that if they have only had their own religious tradition behind them, and then they want to branch out and expand and deepen somewhere in some other way, I recommend that they get something like the Tao Te Ching from China. It's only, it's maybe 50 pages of a book.
Yes.
Now you can say, is this all I have to do is read this book? Yes, really. If you really read that book, now I'd suggest reading it maybe 25 times.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, but really, or read it meditatively and really get to know it and think about it and live by under its influence to some extent. I mean, incorporate it. I'm not saying become a Taoist, but incorporate it into your way of looking at the world in some of your practice in ways that appeal to you. I mean, don't do it because someone tells you should.
Right.
That's my whole point. It's the day is over when we do religion because someone tells us we should do it.
Right.
The time now is to follow your desire and your interest and your passion, and make it your own.
Okay. So how to go about doing this? I mean, so start off reading the Tao Te Ching because it kind of puts a nice fertile ground for being open to lots of ideas. What are some other ideas if you're trying to construct a religion? Like yourself, when at the end of 13 years, the juice has kind of run out of your religion. You want to start looking at other stuff. What else should you do?
Well, I think that one thing you can do is have some quiet contemplative time in your life. Like nature is a very good source of a spiritual life, so you can make the natural world part of your religion, and it may not have been before. Either whether you're just a pure secularist or if you're a member of some established religion, nature probably didn't have much of a central place. So you can actually think of it that way, that when you do go off into the natural world, whether it's to the ocean, edge of the ocean, or to a mountain or a forest or something, a river, I think a river is a wonderful, sacred place. If you think about it that way, really think about the river and watch it closely and kind of really get into it. So that kind of meditating, I like meditation myself. I call it more of a soul meditation instead of a spirit meditation. The soul meditation would be with something. So, go to a river or go into a garden or a park or something. You can be in the city, just go to a park and look at some running water somewhere and just take it in and stop trying to think so much. Stop thinking and just take it in. That can be a form of meditation. That can be part of your practice.
Or part of your religion, right?
Yeah. So you can say, well, in my religion, this particular river is a sacred place. And it may not be to anybody else, but to you it is. So you go there. And you go there. Ritual usually has regularity and repetition in it. It's usually not one thing. Sometimes it can be, but usually it's not just a one-off experience.
Right.
So you might want to say, okay, I think maybe once a week I'll go to this riverside or go to the ocean and just sit there for a while. Not formally. You don't cross your fingers or say any prayers or any.
Many things. Just go there.